leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalk me. That's why I moved.
Just talk.
Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you guys. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please,
what
God
happened?
bless you, but
What
please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me.
You know, that's illegal. It is actually a crime. It's a felony in Oklahoma to do to her what that man is doing to her. You go to jail if you do that. It's called stalking. It's a very serious crime. There's been murders. Jody Arias stalked Travis Alexander, vandalized his car. The next escalation was murder in the first degree. You have Rebecca Schaefer. She was stalked, and the guy hired a PI to get her address. He pulled DMV records, got her home address, showed up, and killed her dead. Teresa Saldana was stabbed. Drew Carey's ex-girlfriend was murdered by her stalker. She said that she went to take a shower and had done some stuff on her computer, came back, and her computer was like it was deleted or something. And she said, I believe that while I was in the shower, he got into my house and messed with my computer. And her friend said, you need to report that. He's getting in your house. That's creepy. And she said, it's just too weird. I just don't want to talk about it. But he ended up killing her. 75% of femicides were were stalked first. If you think about it, murder in the first degree involves some amount of stalking. BTK called it trolling. He was a serial killer who would troll his victims or stalk them and planned a murder, break into their homes, torture them for hours. Then he said, and then kill them. And then he said he'd go in the other room and jack off. It's a sex crime, a sex homicide. Jeffrey Dahmer's was a sexual homicide. Ted Bundy's, I guess, was as well. He also had a peeping Tom problem. These are sick people who can't be normal. They got mental illness or something. This guy is never going to get a date with that woman. John Hinckley Jr. watched Jodie Foster on television, believed that they had a romance. He believed it. And he planned to kill the president, and he and Jodie were going to be the president. He was disappointed, he said, to find out that she was not impressed by his attempts on President Reagan's life. He thought for sure she would be. I deal with that every day. Mr. Perry plans something. He's typing in my phone 1 minute. We're a couple. We're together. And I'm like, get out of my phone. Quit hacking my phone. Stalkers use technology a lot today. Voyeurism, hacking, cloning. A lot of them do get in the house of the victim and look around and sometimes take things like underwear or some kind of trophy. They take pictures of their victims. This is some sick, twisted stuff. The rest of us are busy. We don't have time for that. When we get rejected, we just move on. We're busy. We have a life. These people just, can't keep up with normal. Can't keep up with everybody else. So, and a lot of them become violent offenders. Lonnie Athens, criminologist from Seton Hall, said that 99.9% of the population is not a violent offender, abused or not. 0.1% are violent offenders, and he studied a lot of the causation of that and determined that there was a lot of either child abuse or watching child abuse. Like, you're abused or you're watching your sibling be abused. Either way, it's abuse. And it messed up their head, and they can't pull out of it. So you have Oprah Winfrey, you had Maya Angelou. They're both molested as children. Oprah became pregnant by her molester. They found a way to do something good with it. A lot of it is your choice. A lot of it is you choose to not become like your offender. You're not going to lower yourself to that. You choose to do better. If you got a mental illness, go to a doctor. There are therapists that specialize in helping stalkers. They have a thing called a mental health professional. They have a thing called pills. It doesn't make any sense to do the same thing every day to get the same results. It doesn't even make sense. The thing about that we've said over and over and over, Mr. Perry's continually, and his club of weirdos, he's got a whole crew of weirdos working with him or for him. They'll try to do something to me and they get caught every fucking time. 98% of the time we get it before they do it. When we get that kind of information, there's a court order or a leak. And what started the investigation was human rights violations. People do not like crime, first of all. In polls, it was second on the list of things people want stopped. There was the pocketbook, fix the economy, and the second was crime. Fix the fucking crime. We all want to feel safe in our world. We all want to not be losing things or people due to crime. This is what's normal. What's abnormal is sitting around trying to figure out how to cause that. That isn't normal. That is sick and twisted. And in this country, you have a civilized society. We expect the rules to be followed so that everything's civilized and everything's peaceful. And when you break those rules, you go to jail. Period. That's just the way it is. If you don't like that, move to some other country. Because in general, people don't like crime. They don't like you causing loss. They don't like robberies. They don't like homicides. They don't like, domestic violence, beatdowns. They don't like women and children being abused and starved and deprived of food and shelter. They don't like human trafficking. Billions of dollars are poured into fighting human trafficking, sex trafficking, all of that stuff. Billions of dollars. Human rights violations. The traffickers will mess with your money. They think that gives them control. The traffickers will do things to try to subjugate the victim. That's how they maintain control. They have a person. That person is not a person in their eyes. That person is a commodity. They're asking that person to do something illegal. That person, it doesn't, for them, it's not up to you. You're going to do it. You're going to commit prostitution. You're going to sell my drugs. And you don't get a choice. I will ruin you if you don't do what I tell you. Bribery is offensive. People don't like it. Here's the thing, though. Most people don't have to be told that. They just know. They just know. And when you do things that are illegal, it offends everybody. Most people don't like it. 99.9% of the population doesn't like that. And if you do things people don't like, they will not like you. Stop expecting them to. So Mr. Perry's typing in my phone, please tell me who is helping you. Please tell me. Please just help me. Why would I do that? Why would that even occur to you that think that I would help you continue to be a monster and a tyrant and beat down women and children, including me? And do that to me, harass me all day like this guy. Your methods are just different, but you're still harassing me. I want my privacy. I'm entitled legally to my privacy. You are not entitled to violate it. And don't get all shocked and dismayed when I don't do what you want. I'm not going to do what you want. Everybody's sick of you, and nobody's hinting at anything. There's not a relationship there. I can't stand you. You're weirdo. You're gross. You're vulgar. You're grotesque. You're repulsive. Your conduct is offensive. It's illegal for a reason. People don't like it when you do that. When you watch the news and you see shootings, does everybody rally around the shooter and go, oh, what a hero he is? Oh, fuck no. They want that guy down. Get him, take him out. Get him gone. Because he's going to take a life. Something that doesn't belong to him. Something that is illegal to do. And people start rallying around the victims and trying to help the victims and support the victims. So, when you continue to do something that you know is illegal, you know is wrong, you know is offensive, and you get pushback and people start talking about it because they don't like it, people start telling on you, there's 40 cops investigating you. They want you stopped. What opened the investigation was human rights violations. You don't get to deprive women and children of food and shelter and think somebody somewhere is not going to do something about it. They are. When we quote you, that's what that is. When we get names of people helping you, that's what that is. I'm going to name them again. Lucius, Calvin, who's bald and fat. Sanjay, who's your hacker. Geppetto, your witch. Beverly, Blankenship, Desiree, Richard, Dickey, Lawrence, Andrew, James, Reuben, and you got a Muffin Man, nickname Muffin Man. Okay, you don't have one name of the 40 cops helping me. You don't have it. And you're asking me to help you breach that security that keeps my life from being even worse than what you've already made it. I don't miss you. I don't like you. I don't want anything to do with you. You know what I want? I want my privacy back. I want my family back. And I want my money back. And I want Mike Neely back home to his family. And I want you to fuck off and leave everybody alone. And stop wasting everybody's time. Stop raping me. I'm not in love with you. You repulse me. There's no hints. There's no fucking way I'll help you. It's appalling that you would even ask. Appalling that you have the nerve to ask me. And you don't get any answers you never have. Because I'm not going to help you do this to me for the rest of my life.
Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalk me. That's why I moved.
Just talk
Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes
No,
and I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you guys.
What
I don't ever
happens?
want to hear your voice, see you. Please
What
stop.
And for you to think that I would, you are off. You're not crazy. You are off the rails delusional. Our shrink said, as much as we've caught these men, for them to think they have a choice when they are told to stop, she is not to have her privacy invaded anymore. You do not contact her or her family, directly or indirectly, in any way, shape, or form. She's not to be broke even one more day. You respect the law, and you respect her. And fuck off, period. That's just the way it is. Or we'll do it for you. That's just what we're going to do. We're not giving you an ultimatum. It's just what we're going to do. We say it, then we show you. Don't freak out. You know people don't like what you're doing. That's why it's illegal. When you do something illegal, when you do something people don't like, they don't like you. They don't like you. They want you to go away. You make everybody feel anxious and scared and sick at their stomach and grossed out. They don't like you. They're not going to help you. Everybody wants you gone, and you don't understand how badly everybody just wants you gone. You were never invited to Oklahoma. I moved twice to get away from you. First, I moved to the Dallas area. In November 2013, I left Lubbock and moved to the Dallas area. I believe it was in that summer. Earlier that same summer, I had already told people I didn't want to be in Lubbock anymore. My job was to get you elected. You were elected. I was done. And this thing that you go around telling people, oh, she just doesn't remember. If it was pleasant, if it was good, I would remember. If it was something that you didn't imagine, I'm not going to remember something you imagined. I mean, stop with that. You look like a fool. You look like a damn fool. I don't have any feelings for you at all but deep disgust. I said I don't go out with men who can't respect boundaries. I don't go out with men unless they make sure I don't miss a meal. Get your fucking hand out of my wallet. The guys helping me count every penny you guys cost me. Every penny of it. And it goes right to the judge who grants investigatory orders. You don't know what all he's granted because they gave him a number. Here's what it is this week. Here's what she should have made door dashing. Here's what she made. Here's what she should have been made dancing or at a club or with another job she tried to get that they prevented her from getting. And here's what she actually has. Zilch. So it pisses off all the people that get the information that you don't want us having. Like your names. Ask Sanjay. How many times was your crime caught before you did it to me? How many after? Name one of the victim that has the information I have. Your code words. You know, you guys use daycare code words. I'm afraid to know. I'm afraid to ask the shrink, what is it with the daycare code words? Muffin Man? Really? We're weeble wobbles. We wobble and we don't fall down. Really? You think you're invincible? Is that what that means? You actually think that? Especially as much as we quote you? That we even know you said that? That ought to make you shit yourselves. That we know you're in Judy Parker's court. See, how do I know you're in Judy Parker's court? But I do know. How do I know Mr. Perry has Huntington's disease? He didn't tell me, the cops did. He wants her back in jail. He's going to sit her down and make her sign a letter of apology he wrote. It's his words, not hers. Against her will. Force her. Coerce her. Make her do it. Make her lie. That means she's telling the truth now, or he would not do that. He's going to make her change her story. By force. By coercion. Throw her in jail. You don't get out till you sign this letter. And you go be trafficked to the guy in Houston. And in a week I'll be dead. And you think then the whole thing dies down. That's what you think. And you think wrong. What other victim knows you trafficked him before you trafficked him? And to who? See, you never called me and told me you wanted me to sign a letter of apology. Or that you were going to throw me in jail to make me do it. Or that you trafficked me into who, and that's why you were stealing my social security card and my birth certificate and trying to steal my driver's license. Well, that's why you're taking my car. That's why you eroded my financials, my financial status, my credit. But it is why. That's what you guys do. That's what traffickers do. They beat down the woman till there's nothing left, so they can control her and tell her, "You want to eat? You go fuck that guy. He's gonna pay me. I'm gonna give you a tiny bit. I'll let you have a little canned food here." So you're caught when you do it to me, and I don't know that from you. I know that from police. You had a fake wedding planned because you did a forgery to get into my financials, to get information that's supposed to be protected by privacy laws. So that's illegal to forge somebody's signature. I didn't find out from you. I found out from Chief Miller. He's asking me, did you sign these documents? Why would I do that? Your attorney, I write him a letter, send me the fucking documents, Mark. And he won't do it. So I'm entitled to it. You put my name on a piece of paper without my knowledge or consent. You don't have my, you broke the law. You broke the law. My guy said, respect her and the law. When you break the law, people don't like that. They're not going to like you. They're not going to. That's why we can get information and nobody will help you. You're not understanding how sick and tired of you everybody is. There's no hints. I would never help you. I've said that. You ought to just know. Most people don't have to be told at all, much less over and over. I'm not going to help you. I want you gone. I want for you to be gone. Everybody wants for you to be gone. Everybody's sick of y'all. Everybody's sick of it. You're making people feel horrified and it's sick at their stomach and scared and anxious. And everybody's sick and tired of feeling like that. They want for you to be gone because you're the source of those negative feelings people don't want to have. And that's all you do all day is impose that on everybody who wants nothing to do with you. So that's why we can get information and you can. And our shrink said for us to quote them this much and have this much information on what goes on internally in their criminal organization, and they're told stop, leave her alone. For him to think he has a choice speaks to how deep in delusion he is. He can no longer tell the difference between reality and his little pretend world he's made up in his head. He can't do it. And he can't control himself. He needs to be sedated because he's dangerous. Until we finish this and until we decide we're ready to make an arrest, he needs to be put in a hospital and sedated. And his attorney might have some legal consequences, as will his family. Where's Jacqueline and Jordan and Matthew? When you're up in Oklahoma terrorizing citizens in a state where you don't live, posing a threat, making phone calls to people you have no business making. Tonight, my guys record you guys. After you get caught again, you're mad about it, but you should expect it by now, don't you think? You don't do the same thing every day and expect different results and be sane. So you go at my money, you invade my privacy. Mr. Perry tries to contact me. I don't care what he thinks. No one understands why he thinks I would. I don't want to help him. Nobody understands why he thinks I would. Please tell me, please help me. Why would I do that? My guy said, Mr. Perry, it's inappropriate for you to talk to her at all. No contact. Do not contact her. If you want help, you'll get it from us, but only after you give back what you took and get the hell out of her life. You don't contact her again, you don't invade her privacy again, and she's not to be broke anymore. And only when you take care of that will we call you if it's not already, we're not ready for an arrest. Just like that. That's it. That's fair. Sir, they say it, then they show you, and they have since the McNamara email in 2015. So I leave Lubbock in 2013, then I moved to Dallas. Charles made my life a living hell. Absolute unbearable. Just like he did in Lubbock. Only maybe a little worse. Well, I go to my family. My family's in Oklahoma. If they were in Idaho, I'd be in Idaho. If they were in New Mexico still, I'd be in New Mexico. But they're in Oklahoma, so I came to Oklahoma. Now, if you're a crook, if you're a mafia guy that's helping Charles in Oklahoma, I don't pick the fights. You do. You haven't lost a thing. You ought to know by now what I'm going to do in any given situation. You go at me every day, all day long. It's pissing off people with a whole lot of power, a lot more power than you have. You're not the smartest mafia. Remember, I lived in Vegas. You're very much of allowed. I mean, we're laughing. I mean, they have allowed all kinds of liability things here to go on, and they just. I mean, I don't even have words for that. But your daycare words. I'm telling. I mean, I don't know. You pin the tail on the donkey is when you finally can, kidnap one of your victims. Rumpelstiltskin. You get her name, your ID, your proper ID. A ratatouille is you get somebody to take her to dinner and get personal information that you're going to use to hurt her. Hansel and Gretel, you lure her to a location where you're going to hurt her. Rapunzel, did the victim finally agree to be coerced and be trafficked? Did Rapunzel let down her hair? Papa John's, did we make delivery of the victim to the purchaser, the buyer? It comes with a life sentence, trafficking, Mr. Perry. I'm not going to help you with that. Why in the fuck would you think I would? Nobody understands why you think that. Nobody understands why the fuck you think that. You've sat around and bullshitted yourself all day, every day for years. So badly, you can no longer tell the difference between fact and fiction. And 1 minute they go around we're going to get away with it. We will, right? And the next minute ask who is the leaks? Who's the leaks? Who's leaking? I mean, there's a disconnect there, big time. Because you can't go around telling people you're getting away with something. Look what we can do and get away with. And then the next minute, how'd she find out who leaked? If you have leaks, and I find out, we know before you do it, not after. It's not an afterthought to explain something away. We find out before. Because you were recorded talking about it. Now we've got you on malicious aforethought, David. We only need one. You are famous for saying, she found out, let's let the dust settle, let's create a panacea and we'll try again. Okay, then you talk about it again. Now, David, we got not just one but two. It's going to be very hard for you to convince a jury you didn't mean it. Because you talked about it once and then again, and then again. Now we got 50. We've got thousands about you talking about taking my car away from me. Charles thinks I'll call him. Why would I call him? He's taken my car away more than once. I don't call him. You know who I call? The people helping me. That's who I call. Because they're helping me. They're good to me. Their concern and their priority is my safety and my well-being. Not you. Women are a commodity that you use to make profit. And that's it. And people don't like that, so we can get information and you can't. Everyone's sick of you, and that's what you're not understanding, Mr. Perry. It's just how deeply disgusted and sick of you everybody is. David, you too. Lucius, Calvin. I can get information at the snap of a finger because of it. People do not like feeling fear and sadness and sick at their stomach and grossed out and creeped out and angry. They don't like feeling that, and you're causing it, so they don't like you. This is stuff we all learned in daycare. You guys like to use daycare words. I don't even want to know the psychology behind that. I'm afraid to know. I'm afraid. Why do grown-ass men do that? And play with dolls. And watch TV all day. Literally, my granddaughter can do that. She's like 5-6 months old right now. She can sit around and watch TV and make weird noises and play with a doll. So we're all at a loss as to why you think, you're some great, I mean, wow. There's no skill set required there at all. This is insane right here to put a woman through this.
Bless you, but please leave me alone.
don't call the cops.
Stop! I don't.
About
Stop
you.
stalking me, please. I can't live here anymore because you just.
Mr. Perry, when you contact me, we get more. When you contact me, we get more. When you invade my privacy, we get more. The longer I'm broke, the more we get. When you contact me, I fucking hate it. We get a whole lot more when you do that, because it's like being raped every day. Just like she said, I said, leave me alone. I do not want to talk to you. So we found out about your Huntington's disease. It causes delusion, paranoia, psychosis. You're legit diagnosed nutbag. Hallucinations. You see things that aren't there. And impaired cognitive reasoning. You're not understanding. When you contact me, we get more. Cognitive reasoning is the ability to say cause and effect before and after same and different. If then that. If you do X, Y happens. You touch a hot stove, you get burned. You contact me, we find out more. We've got one other victim. Name one other victim that has the information I have. One victim. Before you do it, not after. Because now we can establish malicious aforethought. You planned something, you knew it was a crime, you did it anyway. Sometimes you knew you were caught, you still did it. You did that today with DoorDash. You did it today with DoorDash, didn't you? They want her pulled over. Guess what? Today I had a hard time finding an address. I'm like looking for the address. I'm having a hard time finding it. I look up and I'm like, there it is. Oh, gosh, just follow the cop car. There is a cop car right there. So I'm like, here, brother. They're still trying to do it. So thankfully, what I did is I took all the addresses that I got today and immediately got them to my attorney. I didn't do Dropbox. Wait for him to look into Dropbox. I did it a whole different way. Immediately. Because if I have a problem, he's going to know. They hacked my Dasher app. They're using my Dasher app to get me to go a certain location to have me pulled over. And the other night, they record you guys talking to a cop. You need to turn your body cam off when you pull her over. And he said, I can't turn off my body cam off. And you told him, we'll just say it malfunctioned. Kind of like Matt Powell. Can we just get Mr. Morrison to say she misunderstood him? Okay. And I'm like, no, I am the only person that decides what I understood and didn't. Me. I'll tell people what I understood. Sir. Not Frank Morrison, not anybody. I speak for me. Can we get, and the guy says, well, you can, but it won't work. That lie won't work, even if you use the word just in front of it. We'll just say the body cam malfunctioned. We'll just say she misunderstood Frank Morrison. He said, Charles never asked Cynthia in these texts, why are you mad? Because he already knew. That indicates he knew already. He doesn't deny spreading rumors of an affair. He denies having employees. Well, we all know he had employees. She named them, Carl and Robin Tepper. She named them. So just won't even help you there, will it? And so you're telling a cop to pull me over again? I've had like probably 20 times I've been pulled over this year. One maybe was legit. Maybe one. I get pulled over for running a red light. And the officer's like, I pulled you over because you blazed right through that red light right there. And I said, I disagree. I think I got it when it was yellow. I looked up. Maybe I'll say, but I'll tell you this. It's possible you're right. There is a possibility, officer, you're right. I'll give you that. This guy was like cool as hell. I mean, I wasn't arguing with him. We were kind of debating what happened. So I'm like, and he was TPD, which is cool that finally we had a TPD guy that, I mean, he just had a normal conversation with me. I'm like, and not a weird one. So I'm like, driving. I said I was driving. I'm door dashing. I'm driving. So I'm looking up at the light and it's yellow. I decided to go ahead and go through it. Meantime, I look down at my Dasher app, because that's the only thing about door dashing is you got to look at the app while you're driving. It can be kind of like, to me, it's a little bit dangerous because it's almost like texting and driving. Sometimes you're looking down at your app while you're driving to find where you're going. You got to find the location. So it's a constant map quest. Google Maps type. You're always looking down at your phone, so it could be quick, tricky. But anyways, I look. It's your job. You have to do it. You can't find where you're going if you're not looking at your map. So I said it's possible that I looked up It's yellow as I'm coming onto coming up to the intersection. I look down at my to make sure I'm going the right way, and it turns red as I enter the intersection. That's possible. That could be true. I'll give you that. But to the best of my knowledge, when I entered that intersection, that light was yellow. And I don't know, but what I'm saying is I don't think I ran it, but it's possible I did. I'll give you that. He didn't give me a ticket. But that was the only, out of all the pullovers I've had, that's the closest to legit in a while. That wasn't where I was targeted and the guy was waiting for me and told to pull me over. Where there wasn't a set of circumstances arranged by Mr. Perry to have me pulled over to take my car. There's plenty of evidence he's been after my car. Like I said, the connecting the dots video talks about stalkers' proclivity to going at your car, the victim's car. DVIS, Domestic Violence Intervention Center of Services of Oklahoma, says they've got an advertisement asking for volunteers to help drive women around because offenders go at the car. Mr. Perry, I'll never help you. The fact that you're still contacting me, now he's typing in my phone, is it DVIS? Oh my God. The fact that you're still contacting me pisses me off. The fact that you have the nerve to ask, is it DVIS, pisses me off. I will never help you. The guy said they'll call you after you give back what you took and get the hell out of my life. And you never contact me again. Get the fuck out of my phone. Get the fuck out of my phone. Get out of my phone. Unfortunately, if I stop and I address it, people have asked why does he respond to her though? He's a peeping Tom, so he's watching me in the privacy of my home. It doesn't matter when I move. The second I walk out the door to go to the store or whatever, they got somebody putting a camera where I am. Believe me. You can also hack smart TVs. You can also hot mic a phone. I mean, there's a lot of ways they do this. Technology is used in stalking now, a lot. National Stalking Resource Center has connecting the dots, that is cops who specialize in stalking crimes, talk about the proclivity of going at the car. DVIS has a ride service because of the proclivity of a domestic violence offender to go at the victim's car. You're just finding a cop to do it. It's really bad when you do it that way. People don't like that. So we can get information like what he said. I can't turn off my body cam. And the guy said, just say it's malfunctioned. And we heard that. We got it. Because people don't like what you're doing to me. What opened this case to begin with? Human rights violations, the starvation, the deprivation of food and shelter for women and children. You don't get to do that and get away with it. And when we're quoting you all the time, you really think you're getting away with it? What is it you think you're getting away with? What day are they going to use all that to arrest you? They're already using it to get court orders, like a wiretap or some such. I'm not in that loop. There was one cop in Oklahoma, and I'm not going to tell you which one it was. One cop in Oklahoma that I'm talking to about what I'm going through. And I looked at him and I go, why don't you do something? I mean, I have help, but the jurisdiction on this right here, this matter right here is you. Why do I have to have police from somewhere else helping me? And he said, it's above me. And you know what my response to that was? I want you to get above me on the phone, because above me is not in the loop. Because you're not looking at what we're doing. If you were looking at what we're doing, above me might change his position or her position. You got to look at what we're doing, because we're doing what nobody else has done before. Right, Mr. Perry? How many times was your crime caught before you did it to me? How many after? Ask Sonji to help you count. I don't think you can count anymore. You can't do cause and effect. When you do the crime to me, you get caught. When you contact me, we get more. I fucking hate your contact. It's disgusting to me. I'll never help you. It pisses me off you'd even ask. Because what I said is, don't invade my privacy. Get the fuck out of my life. You don't get to hack my phone. I have the legal right to privacy in my phone. Get the fuck out of it. I have the legal right to privacy in my house. Get the fuck out of my life. I don't want you in it. I do not want you in it. I moved from Lubbock to Dallas in November 2013, and from Dallas area to Oklahoma in September 2014. I've been in Oklahoma 9 years, kicking you off me every second of every day. I have other shit to do. You're gonna call my school. We hear you said. Let's call her school and find out how much money do they want to kick her out. We heard you. You were recorded. The judge heard it already too. I didn't do the podcast immediately after you said that, did I? It's been about an hour or so since you said it. We wanted to give the officers time to let him hear it. They know exactly to the penny how much I should come home with, whether I'm door dashing or dancing, and how much I do come home with, or when I miss a night because my guys have to call me, like this weekend. You're gonna be pissed. I'm like, what happened? They're gonna, even though that we've caught them trying to have you pulled over, they're still trying to do it anyway. So you need to sit tight tonight. Just sit at home. And I know you need money. I know you need food, and I know you don't have any. But I promise we're adding up every penny they're costing you. We will make it up to you later. They're gonna pay it back. They're gonna pay it back in restitution. And you can certainly sue them after. It'll be easier for you to do once they're arrested and convicted, don't you think? Yep. Okay, so meantime, we'll keep getting you more, okay? That's what we do all day, is try to make sure you're safe. Our priority is you're safe, you're happy, you're secure, you got what you need, while Mr. Perry tries to tear down your life and makes you feel raped, invading your privacy, and bothering you all damn day. We're here trying to fight that off. We're here trying to make sure that he goes to jail so he can't do that to you anymore. What he said is, her privacy is not to be invaded anymore. It's not to, you don't invade my privacy again. Don't contact her or her family in any way, shape, or form, directly or indirectly again. Because if you do, we're going to catch it and we're going to prosecute you. That's why we're doing this. It's not because we're bored. I know you lie to yourself. You bullshit yourself all day. You can't even tell the difference between fact and fiction anymore, can you? It's embarrassing. Why aren't you embarrassed? It should embarrass the hell out of you. I'm asking the shrink, why is he not embarrassed? He embarrasses the hell out of me. I feel like he's a weirdo. And he's mentally slow, and I can't stand either one of those two things. She goes, doesn't know he should be. I told you he's mentally ill and mentally retarded. His IQ is not, I don't know if we want to seek the death penalty. I don't know if we can if he'll pass the 8th Amendment test. She's starting to lean the other way, though, because of some of the things you've done to try to cover it up and make me lie. She said, he clearly knows it's a crime because he's trying to make you lie. So he won't he won't be able to do the insanity defense. He can't do it. Because in order to qualify for the insanity defense, you have to have there's a two-pronged test. One is you got to have a mental illness, defect or something, impairment, which Huntington's disease certainly qualifies for that. But you also have to show that you don't know what you're doing is a criminal act. You act like you do. If you want me to lie, you know it's wrong. You know it's criminal. You know. So you don't get to do that. You don't get to argue that defense. But then, if there's a death penalty, something, you gotta be smart enough where they feel like it's cruel and unusual punishment. So at first she was thinking maybe your IQ wasn't high enough to pass the test for that. Now she's thinking it's probably fine. Doesn't mean you don't need, but she does feel like you need to be hospitalized from the illness. It's the intelligence part she's okay with. It's the illness and the inability to control yourself she thinks you need treatment for right now. Sedation and hospitalization. So, but as far as facing criminal charges, you are showing you're fully aware what you're doing is a criminal act if you want me to lie for you. So I found out about the letter of apology from the cops, not you. I found out about your little fraud wedding 4 years after your forgery. 4 years after the forgery, he decides maybe we ought to have a wedding so there's pictures. So I can say it's not a forgery. See, she consented. Never mind, the forgery was 4 years ago. And I don't consent. You'd have to kidnap me, and it would have to be forced, even for a wedding photo. I can't stand you. There's not even been a date. There will never be a date. So if you try to make me pose for a photo, it's just going to be a fraud. It's just more forgery. It's just more fraud. I can't fucking stand your ass, you skate bitch. I mean, what the hell? I can't stand it when you contact me. It makes me want to barf. You are a creepiest fuck I've ever met in my life. Weirdo. Doesn't get any more weirdo than you. Jeffrey Dahmer, maybe. But you're getting awfully close to even that. It's stupid. Because you guys set these expectations and you do all this stuff. Even though she's caught us using her DoorDash app, which is illegal, that's hacking. It's a felony crime. And stalking is also a felony crime. Even though they know and she's caught us and she's talked about it, we're still going to try it anyway. Do we all have stupid written across our forehead that you think nobody else suspect a thing? Really? I mean, come on. Then y'all get all shocked and dismayed when when I'll change something up. I'll change something up. And then you're like, I can't believe she did that. We can hear you. You got wiretap orders all over you. Here, you're just fine. Every time you throw a fit and get pissed off at me because I don't, fall for your trick that you're going to do something to hurt me. Why would I do that? Here's the lion's den. Just walk in it and die. I'm not stupid. I'm the one. You forget who it is you're talking to. I mean, we don't even know what to say to that. We don't know what to say to that. This guy says, she's like, does he really just say, I don't care what you want? Yeah, okay, but that's why you're all by yourself. And you're told on all the time. You're not loved. You're not wanted. You don't have a date. You don't have information. Nobody will help you. You're told on and told on and told on every day for a decade. And that's all you have to show for what you've done in all these years. You can't name even one of my guys. You can't quote even one meeting. And we quote you all day long. And we named all kinds of people working for you. Look at the results and look at ours. Look at ours. Look at yours. People don't like what you're doing. They like us just fine. We're making the bad stop. We're making the bad thing stop. People like that. It's not hard. Most people don't ever have to be told this at all. You've been told over and over and over and over and over and over, and we're just going, oh my God, this fucking nursing home people here, literally nursing home people are. It's like they all have Alzheimer's and they can't remember that we've already said this. We've already caught them. They've already been caught. They're caught. We've talked about it. They got caught again. We talked about it again. It's a crime. They know that. They want me to lie. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's so easy. It's not even fair.
Don't stop.
This guy, she's trying to reason with him. Do you like having a camera stuck in your face, asshole? And he's like, oh, you mean those pictures? You want me to go get all the pictures I have of you because I'm a stalker? That's what Mr. Perry does. I'm going to take pictures of you to take into court and show the judge I'm not stalking her. See all the pictures I have of her in Oklahoma where she lives. You're supposed to be in Lubbock, Texas with your wife and your kids and your family and the people that are in Lubbock, your friends, your constituents. Fucking go work. Get off your fat, lazy, perverted ass and go work and be with your family. Because when you're here bothering me, it pisses me off. I have a lot of friends with a lot of power, and then the next thing you know, we're quoting you and you complain about it. And we're like, well, you have to like it or you'd stop. You have to like getting caught or you'd leave me the fuck alone. Yeah, you make as much sense as this guy. He makes absolutely no sense at all. You can tell he has no fucking idea what she's saying. Nor do you. You always act like you have no fucking idea what I just said. I don't waste my time on people like that. I've already wasted a shit ton of my time. But a lot of times what I'm doing these podcasts for is not for you. It's for the judge to hear so he knows my intent and we document the thread of the day. He's got to hear my voice, what I have to say about it. My intent, my wishes. So a lot of times it's for your criminal case, for that judge to hear. I don't give a fuck what Judy says. How do I even know you're talking to Judy? She's factually ignorant. There's another judge that has a higher standard. And he's not going to be factually ignorant. Make sure he's not. So, for him, I record these podcasts, not for you. Because everybody else, I say it once and they got it. I'm not used to dealing. I worked with surgeons. I worked with nurses. A lot of the nurses I worked with were specialists. They dealt in wound care. And so they had like a master's or a doctorate. I worked with senators and congressmen and their staffers. So you say it once, you keep up, man. Especially Washington, D.C. Keep up. Or they'll chew you up and spit you out. Don't have time for this. We're all smart. If you're not smart and you can't keep up, I don't know what to tell you. So I don't know what's wrong with people. You got to say the same thing. But most people already know. You don't have to say it at all. You got to say the same thing for you over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Everybody's sick of you. That's why we can get information and you can't. Most people don't like crime, dumbass. They don't like it. They don't like you because you do it. We can get information because people are sick and tired of y'all. You're not understanding how sick and tired of you they are. Watching a woman in the privacy of her home against her will without her consent, using her body for your pretend love life and profit and try to sell her, and killing people. That's not how you get a date. It's not how you make women like you. I don't go out with men that do shit like that. I'm telling everybody, I don't go out with a man unless he makes sure I don't miss a meal. Mr. Perry's going around, I'm in the starver till she lies. Okay, then you're not trying to make me like you. You're trying to get your lie. And I said no. No means no. You've had all these years chasing your lie, and the more you chase that lie, the more truth we get. And you all run around, how'd she find out? How'd she know about that? And no other victim has what I have, do they? It's different when you do it to me. But it's the same every time you do it, Calvin. You get all butthurt. Why are you so emotional about this stuff? I don't even know you. Nobody's picking a fight with you. Nobody's doing anything to you. You've not lost a thing. You get all emotional, don't you? Throw a fit. I'm like, wow, I don't even know who that man is. Everybody fucking hates you.
You feel? You're filming my father and my fucking sister. How does this make you feel?
I'm gonna put all those scratches on your arm. You want to see the
Scratches? I got scratches.
I can show you the pictures right now.
No, I want you to leave my family fucking alone.
Keep hanging outside of there.
Hit the road. Dude, I promise you, you're gonna get yours and you're
I
gonna
don't give
get
a
it
fuck.
good.
You can bring whoever the fuck you want.
That's okay. You're
You
gonna
can bring
Is
a
that
whole
a threat?
fucking army. I don't give a fuck.
This make you feel? You're filming my father.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me
You can
alone.
all you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. And you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay. I don't care. That's okay. I don't care.
Leave
You
me
can tell
alone.
all you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me.
This person expresses the high level of irritation with someone you have to repeat yourself for. And then he talks about her clothes. Yep, no one cares what you think. You weren't asked, Connie. But we gotta repeat the same thing over and over for you, and you're still not getting it, sir. The same irritation exists with y'all. Believe me, you're just stupid. You're stupid. I can get information and you can't. You're making people feel upset and anxious and sick at their stomach, and nobody likes feeling that way. They want y'all gone.
Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh, God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm serious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave
You can
me
tell
alone.
all you want.
I don't want.
Stepdad's been raping you since
Leave
you were
me
12 years
alone.
old.
Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
It's disgusting to everybody else what you're putting me through. People in my life that care about me are glad when I'm okay. There are 40 cops that care about me that are making sure I'm okay. I hate to tell you this, but you may have to go without food for a day or two. But it's better than what they have planned. If you go to work. Just doing normal things. I have a legit reason to be doing what I'm doing. You don't. You don't have one single legitimate legal reason to be doing what you're doing. And that's why, you dumb fuck, we can get information and no one will help you. That's why. We have to say the same thing for you over and over. You're wasting a lot of people's time with that. Everybody's getting very, very irritated at you that we have to repeat ourselves. And you're still not putting it together that people don't like what you're doing. They don't like suffering. They don't like fear, sadness, anxiety, problems, drama. And that's all you do all day is cause that. They don't like feeling the creepy way you make them feel. You are a weirdo. It doesn't get any more weirdo than you. It's embarrassing. You know, you're gross. I don't want to help you. I want for you to be gone. I'm helping the guys making you be gone. Everybody's talking about how mad they are that you're trying to do a second false arrest and sit me in a room because you want to talk. I don't need to talk, and I'm sick of hearing you talk. Everybody is. Everybody is. You feel, you want, whatever. Shut up and get away from me. So every penny that you take, every minute of my time you take, every time you cause a problem for me, it costs you something. We get actionable intel, and nobody will help you. The guys will call you when you give back what you took and you get the fuck out of my life. And if you give it back, they'll ask the judge for mercy. That doesn't mean you're going to get it, but they'll at least ask. Don't tell me you're sorry. You're sorry you got caught. Because people who are sorry, fix it and stop. People don't like your crime. That's why we can get information and you can't. Lucius. I don't have puppets and crayons. I'm not a special education teacher. I'm doing the best I can to make a point. Go see a doctor if you can't understand me. Play this recording for the doctor and see if the doctor can help you understand how the whole rest of society feels about you. They don't like guys like you. So, because they don't like guys like you, what he said is, in March 2020, and again in July 2022 is, Cynthia's privacy is not to be invaded anymore. That's illegal. Stop breaking the law. You don't contact her again or her family in any form, directly or indirectly. Stay the fuck away from her and her family. And she's not to be broke anymore. Get your hands out of her wallet. I'm gonna starve her till she lies. Everybody that I've ever dated on a real date, you dumb son of a bitch, made sure I didn't miss a meal. And that might mean supporting my career, not hacking my apps to make sure I got canned food when I get home. Maybe I can get a can of tuna. Saeed took me to dinner at I don't think he took me to dinner at any place that costs less than $30 a plate every fucking night. I mean, he spoiled me rotten. He got a real day with me, real sex. I really held his hand and sat on his lap. That'll never be you. You said to everybody who'll listen, I'm going to starve her until she lies. That means you want the lie. And I'm not going to lie for you. Coercion is illegal. I'm not going to help you with your crime. I'm not going to be your bitch. Nobody has kicked your criminal ass harder than me. If you don't like that, get off me. Get the fuck off me, you sick rapist. You don't make women like you by beating them down to nothing. My ex-husband got a real date with me. I married him. He made sure I didn't miss a meal. He didn't take me out to eat like Saeed did. But we had children to take care of. So we didn't have the money to go Saeed and I were single. Both of us were single. We didn't have children bills. Children bills would cost a lot of money. So our money was reprioritized. But I never missed a meal. I dressed very nice. We had a decent car. We lived in a great place. Wherever we lived, it was great. We had good friends. We had a good life. My guys are looking at the difference in my emails before I met you and after. She had a lot of friends that really cared about her. You can see it. She got all these emails, got all these Facebook messages, got all these Facebook stuff. And then you can tell when Charles started to just eroding that. All of a sudden, there's nothing. All of a sudden, there's nothing. That's not what my husband did. My husband didn't even know half my friends, much less call him and tell him, don't, you're not allowed to talk to her. And if she calls you, you call us and we'll tell you what to say. We got a gaslighter. We know you do that. You're recorded talking to my friends. One of somebody I know told our guys, I'm so sick and tired of them telling me when I can talk to her and what I can say. I'm sick of that. Please hurry up and put these bitches in jail so I can just talk to her when I want and I can say what I want. People don't like the weirdo shit y'all do. It's fucking weirdo. You guys are sick and twisted. Normal people couldn't come up with that stuff if they had to. Can't do it. You're sick and twisted. You need a, fucking golly. Weirdo people. So y'all sit around and convince each other that what you're doing is okay, and the rest of the world's going, yeah, no, it's not. So we can get information and you can't. And this is part of what we got today. About the court processes you guys are impeding, including what you're trying to do with the traffic ticket. That's what he was saying. She's got traffic court on May 2nd. He keeps trying to take her car away. He's asked a cop, pull her over, turn your body camera off, and get the car from her. And he's like, I can't turn my body camera off. Just say it's a malfunction. We use the word just in front of our lies, and then that makes it all right. Matt does it. I do it. Except we heard you. So, that, and then they were talking about Judge Eagan's, the guy called it a nonsensical order. It didn't have anything to do with her order, with her motion, and he's right. You can tell when you watch her podcast about Mike Neely's, Chief Miller's murder, and Mike Neely. That's why they wouldn't let her in court. That takes the cake. He'd be home right now, and everyone knows it. So all of these things that we get, Mr. Perry. When you contact me, we get more. When you contact me, we get more. When you contact me, you never get a date. You never get information. I don't like you. You're a rejected failure, too stupid to figure out how to move on like the rest of us do. You're just a little pathetic. You're a pathetic nothing. You're wasting my time. You're wasting my time. There are people in my life that I care about that you won't let me see or that you've alienated from me. I want them in my life, not you. It will never be you. If you can't figure out how to treat women right, you're not going to have one. What about Jackie? She's your wife. She promised to be with you forever. Sickness and health, all that. I've made no problem. I don't even want to be a friend. You're a job for me. You're just a job. I'm very good at what I do. The goal is to put you in jail. Nobody has as much evidence as we do. And intel. No victim has what I have. And it didn't occur to you that maybe I'm not just a victim. It should. It would anybody else. This, you're going at cops. That does something in other cops. So, all this. How do we know you have Huntington's disease? There's a forged marriage license. You sold me to a guy in Houston. Because you're trafficking humans. And that's what this is about, not a date. And everyone knows it. What he's going to do is false arrest her, sit her down. He wants to talk to her. He thinks that's how you talk to her. And make her sign this letter of apology. He's making her apologize. For what? Stopping his crime? Boo fucking who? Then he's gonna take her to Houston with this realtor guy and go, oh look, we have this great house for you. She'll be dead in a week, and the whole thing dies out. The whole thing's over. And then he thinks he can go back to business with his crime as usual. They all think that. They all think that. And you guys plan this stuff, and then I jigger up my plans and mess up your plans, and then everybody's throwing a fit, and Calvin thinks he's, it's like Calvin thinks, I don't know what Calvin thinks. Not reality. It's the same thing every night, Calvin. People don't like you because you make them feel anxious and scared and upset and sick at their stomach. Lucius, you as well. All of you guys. That's what crime does. Makes people very uncomfortable with you. You should know this. Everybody else knows this. Why don't you? That's why you don't see everybody doing what you're doing. It's not acceptable. It's not tolerated in a civilized society. It's illegal for a reason. You do it, you go to jail. You convince yourselves you're going to get away with it while you're asking who told on you. We're like, wow, it doesn't get any stupider than that. We think we're getting away with it while we're asking, how does she know we just said that? How does she know about this? How does she know about that? Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. That's cops. Like, it's above me. Get above me on the phone. I'm gonna show some of this stuff to above me. Boy, that he never said that to me again. Never said that to me again. I can't help you. I would love to help you, but I can't. Because it's above me. I looked at him and I go, excuse me? A lawman can't enforce the law because it's above him? Get above me on the phone. Let's talk about this kind of stuff right here. Because above me is not in the loop, and we need to get him in the loop, don't you think? Never said that to me again. Never ever said that to me again. Okay. So all of this stuff is what you said today. Call the school and see how much money they want to kick her out. And we got it. And the judge, I waited to do a podcast till I knew he heard it. So there's that. It's different when you do it to me. This is what you guys said all day. Or someone said about you. The breach of contract. It was smart of her to do that. That means she understood that what that meant was that said Charles Perry's not to contact her meant he wasn't going to contact her. And he just went right back at it. Like a Looney Tune. The Looney Tune that he is. Being an imposition and a burden to everybody else. And you get caught when you do that to me. When you contact me, we get more. When you contact me, we get more. Do you like getting caught? When you contact me, I hate it. We get more. When you contact me, I fucking hate it, so we get more. Am I saying this enough times for you? Is it finally going to click? How many times do I need to say it for it to click for you? Don't get surprised when I fuck up your plans. I always do. We showed this video of Katniss. She does what nobody expects her to do. Nobody else will do what she does. Nobody. Yeah. And did you hear what the guy said? I can imagine they've got leaks. A lot of guys see her as their Katniss. Because they don't like the tyranny, the burden of the oppression you all make everybody feel. Yeah. Try taking the course how to be nice to people so they don't want to hit you in the face with a brick. Most people don't have to be told all that shit. You should know at your age. And yet you're told and it still just doesn't click for you, does it? It's embarrassing. I mean, it really is. So there's that, and then he's talking about there was no hearing on whether or not the bond conditions that say Mr. Perry's not supposed to contact me constitutes a contract, and whether or not it was binding on Mr. Perry. Judge Eagan never made that ruling. Judge Eagan ruled that it was res judicata. Well, you got to have a jury trial, and the jury trial comes out bad for you, and you think you're just going to go sue the same thing in a different court case, and that's what res judicata is supposed to address. Not, I got a bond I got a whole different thing here, a whole new cause of action, a whole different cause of action. You didn't rule on a very important thing. So, then the 10th Circuit backed you up on that. But the 10th Circuit's ruling didn't make any sense. So our guys start checking in. Why is this ruling? There's a prosecutor, and he's like, this doesn't even make sense either. This is the 10th Circuit. And they don't make sense. So he starts calling around. It turns out, Mr. Perry, from what we were told, the 3 judges that signed it didn't even see it. Mr. Perry had the law clerks do it. So it's all fucked up. It didn't even make sense. I don't know what happened to Judge Eagan, but I will tell you this. You ran off my customers from work. And so I'm like, there's nobody here. I'm going to go home. I go home. I start getting my evidence together. I go down and file at 8 o'clock in the morning. I worked on it all night long. I left work at about 2 in the morning. Remember, I worked from 7. At the time, I was dancing and worked from 7 until 4. And 7 p.m. till 4 a.m. Well, about 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, I'm out of here. There's nobody had been in. So I got shit to do. I went home, got all that ready. At 8 o'clock in the morning, I haven't even been to sleep yet. I go down to the courthouse, I file it, and I go home, and then I go to bed. Later that day, in the afternoon sometime, I get an email. The court emails you the orders or any new updates, anything that's filed. So I look on, and I go, shit, I got an email. Well, she's already got an order out. And it says, Cynthia didn't file evidence. And I'm like, well, I did actually. 2 hours before. I'm looking at what time did this order come out. It came out like 2 hours after I filed that stuff. So Matt Powell then, my guys tell me, Matt Powell's calling to find out what happened. So he calls and he says, what happened? And they tell him, we did get the evidence. I took a picture of it. Here's this 12-inch stack of shit I got to file. This is how much evidence I have. What's the harm in letting her in court to show evidence she does not have, Mr. Perry? You would never let her in court. You play Candyland against you. You beat you. And then run around telling everybody how you won. You didn't win shit. You didn't have an opponent. 5 attorneys can't handle one chick with no law degree. No law school at all. See, your credibility is fucked. People laugh at you. I mean, you don't know what they say behind your back. We do. Anyway, so they said, well, they put it on the magistrate's desk. That's who takes the evidence in, is the magistrate judge. And they just didn't bother to tell Judge Eagan. So she got this order here that doesn't even make sense. And then didn't try to fix it. This is how I got a motion to vacate. Rule 60, motion to vacate fraud upon the court, because there's intrinsic and extrinsic and all of that required, but the Supreme Courts have ruled now that if the judge is involved, and it looks to me like she is, then you have some standing to file a motion to vacate for fraud upon a court. But we have a timely filing thing because you're still doing more to sue you for. You're still breaching the contract. Every time you caused me a loss, every penny, every minute of my time, every time you took my car, or every time you took my home, every time you made it, there's more causes of action. You're still breaching the contract. It's going to take me a book to put it all in. It'll take me a fucking book. So we start, when does the timely filing start? When you finish? When you're finally in jail and you can't do one more thing to me? I mean, I got a prosecutor. He doesn't give me legal advice. But he'll tell me some basics. You need to read this or you need to read that. You're smart. You'll figure out what I'm getting at. Yeah. Okay. So sometimes I just use your attorney. Because your attorneys don't have attorney-client privilege anymore. They became part of the crime. They're sitting there watching me type up a brief. And they're talking about it. I made a mistake. They caught it. I hadn't filed it yet. I'm typing it up. They're hacking me, watching me type it up. And so I hear them talking about it, and my guys are like, you know how he wouldn't let you get an attorney? Yeah. Use his. Listen to this. You made a mistake. Fix it. So I listen to Mark and Jim talking about my mistake. So I fixed the mistake and then go file it, and it's fine. Expect it. This is the Cynthia you should expect to see, because it's the only Cynthia you've ever seen. I don't know what the hell you think I'm gonna turn into, some sort of whiny, snivelly you. That's not my personality. Watch Katniss, watch the Hunger Games, watch what she does, and what else? Brenda Lee Johnson, and I'm a little bit Brenda Lee Johnson mixed up with Katniss, mixed up with Hannah. Rolled into one. Mulan rolled into one. I mean, I have a certain personality, and that's my personality. And there's a reason they put me in on this job, because of my personality, my ability to handle what you do to me. So, because not everybody could, believe me. A lot of people won't sleep in their car for the cause of justice. I did. Okay, so, but the thing is, I say I shouldn't have had to. Should I? Gonna starve her till she lies. Deprivation of food and shelter with intent to coerce. Grand larceny with intent to coerce. Interference with commerce with intent to coerce. Interference with contracts with intent to coerce. Yipes. That's a lot of criminal charges, isn't it? Per count. How many counts are they going to put? How many counts of human trafficking are they going to get you on? Perjury. Attempted murder. Assault. Huh? Mr. Perry keeps threatening me. I'm going to get you charged for that murder. I'm going to get you charged for that murder. I'm going to get you charged. Did you find out whether or not I was adopted and get the right mitochondrial DNA today, Richard? Did you? I think we heard you talking about that. When you're planning to commit a crime against me, I'm going to find out about it. So, you know I didn't do it. If we found out about it, that means you're trying to commit a crime against me. My guys would put me in jail if I actually did that murder, and you know I didn't do it. The thing is when somebody commits a crime, Richard, if you're a good cop, you get the evidence of the crime. You don't have to make crap up. You don't have to make crap up. You don't have to use, illegal means like dasher apps and crap. Let's hack her dasher app and try to get her at this intersection where I'm going to have that guy pull her over and turn his body cam off. Yeah, we love you, Richard. All right, so there's all this. I want to go to lunch with Dickie, though. I got a lot to say to Dickie. There's all this. Every time you guys do something like that to me, Richard, we get one of these. I know your name. I know who you are. Who is Blankenship? Is Al Blankenship? Is that the same guy? Al and I know Al. I met Al. I gave Al a VIP. If it's the same Al, Charles always asks me, is that my leak, Al? I don't know. Did you tell him something to leak? He's asking me, is it the people at the club? Are they leaking? I don't know. First of all, is there something to leak, and did you tell them? I mean, these are questions. You got to watch out. What questions you're asking of whom, don't you think? Yeah, it's so easy. It's not fair. So we got all that stuff just today about the Judge Eagan's nonsensical order, and using my Dasher app, and I can't find the house. Oh gosh, there's a cop. That's the house, I bet. Oh, sure as shit, that's the one. Okay, that's how you find out an address when you're lost, when you got corrupt people after you. It's, there's the cop car. Well, there it is. There it is right there, cop car. Just look for the cop car, you get lost. Oh my God. So, you're caught, Mr. Perry. We know what you're trying to do. You're trying to tamper with a witness. And the guy said, on Mike's case, now we want Cynthia back in jail. Let me see, where's the one about the court? I gotta find it, because it was good. I liked this. This guy is, whoever he was. I'm not told who it is. Here we go. You got Lucky's deal. She's supposed to testify in that trial. And looking at her podcast, that would have taken the cake. Mike would be home right now. And the fact that they kept her out of that courtroom says they did that murder. And the fact that you're trying to force me to lie and frame me for a murder I didn't do, same thing. You're retaliating. And that's all you're doing. This is the documents right here. That's my subpoena. And that's the record of deposition. That with all these other people, I was deposed also for Mike's trial. And you suborned perjury, because concealment of a material fact that can change the outcome is perjury. You suborned it. So this is basically, the guy said the whole thing that happened. Mark told Jean Mitchell, don't let her testify. Now, he wishes he had at least let the hearing on standing go ahead and move forward. Then they wouldn't have had to explain all that. Now, I filed a motion to intervene when it became apparent you were going to let me testify. Fine, I'll find a way around your obstacle. I pretty much always do. I filed the motions to intervene. And there should have been a hearing on standing, whether or not I had standing to file the third-party motion to intervene. Do you have standing to file this or not? And there's nothing. So because there's so many of those hearings and hearings and normal court proceedings that aren't normal and didn't happen, and they're either prescribed by law or they were scheduled and then all of a sudden everything just got dismissed. See, that starts to add up. Now we see a pattern. The second time you do it, it's a pattern. Now it's your MO. And then how many counts will you be charged for that, Mr. Perry? Yeah. You don't have a date. Nobody's in love with you. You're all by yourself. You have some imaginary romance with, a TV show. You're as pathetic as they get. You sit around perverting, making weird noises all day, neglecting your family. And it's gotten you nothing but told on. How many times were you caught before you did it to me? How many after? What? Huh? So, Richard, I have help. Very, very, very powerful help. So if you lie, they're going to catch it. And you're going to wish you hadn't done that. Somebody in one of these conversations today said they wanted me to help, and my morals and my ethics wouldn't allow me. That prohibits me from helping them. Do you understand a lot of people feel that way? You should understand a lot of people feel that way. Okay, so this guy is basically saying, Mark said now they wish they'd had the hearing on standing and just tell the judge, let her have the hearing on standing and then deny it. Say she has no standing. Then it would be harder for her to blame us. But because there's nothing, and there's now like 10 of those, now we look guilty as fuck. And that's didn't occur. Yeah. Yeah, Mark. How bright of you to figure that out now. But there's still evidence of corruption because you're trying to control what the judge's decision is, and that's not your place. And it also implicates you in a murder of a cop, first degree. Because if you didn't kill him and frame Mike, what do you care? You know who doesn't care? Steve Massengale. What's that guy's name that represents Stormy Daniel? Brewster something. Whatever that guy's name is. Brewster. He's kind of a strange duck. I've met him. He tried to lie to me about Mike Neely too. I met him. I sat down. I talked with him. And he says, oh, Mike did it. He admitted it. And I go, that's not the video I saw. Oh, no, the DA sent me something. Steve Consweiler sent you something? Yeah, he sent me something where Mike Neely admitted he did it. And I said, listen, I don't know what fucking planet you're on. Mike Neely didn't admit to diddly. And I don't think the DA sent you anything like that. And so what, did you guys call him before I got there? I mean, how what, I can outsting up lawyer Brewster. What's his name? Who represents Stormy Daniel. I can outsting up cops, judges, whatever. That was the other thing is she can't have a skiff even, because now she knows about Judy Parker. Yeah, because you got cops on you, Richard. If you try to lie, they're going to catch it. If you try to hurt me, they're going to catch it. They know that you want me to go to a certain location so you can have me pulled over and a cop turn off his body cam to harass me for you at the taxpayer's expense, maybe they tell me to go a different way. Expect it. You should by now, don't you think? People don't like your crime. They don't like your crime. We can get information because of that, Richard. I know Charles is cuckoo bird as they get. What about you? What about you, Richard? What about you, Dickie? I think Dickie's the one that gets me, and I think pretty much the only thing Dickie does, from what I understand, is sit. I'm not told who I'm listening to, so I'm doing a lot of guessing here. They do that on purpose. There's certain questions that I would be asked on the stand that they want me to legitimately say, I don't know, or I wasn't told that. So if I figure it out on my own, then I can still say I wasn't told that. But Richard and Dickie, I mean, not Richard and Dickie. Dickie, I believe, is the one that gets me. And a lot of times y'all ask, what do you think she'll do if we do this? I want to know how many times is he right and how many times is he wrong. But he's also said, let her eat. I've heard him. Please just let her eat, Calvin. Please stop doing that, Calvin. It's not cute. And it's really not getting you what you want. I consume you, Calvin. I own you. I control you. I control how you spend every minute of every hour of your days. And I really don't want to. It's not something I enjoy. I would like you to get off your ass and go get busy doing something normal, Calvin. I mean, I do. I mean, everyone else is trying to shake loose of the abnormal cancer that y'all are. And so, we can get intel and you can't. So now Mark says, maybe we should have let her have the hearing on standing and just told the judge to deny that. Then it wouldn't look so weird. Like we did this murder and we're trying to cover it up and we framed Mike. And the guy says her podcast going over that whole case took the cake. Thank you, whoever you are. That was so nice. Took the cake. He'd be home. You know, I'm looking at the thing with the Escambia guy asking telling Michael Lucky's dead, and Michael's like, I don't believe you. You're telling me he's dead? Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at my hands. You tell me I beat him to death. I'm looking at my hands. There's nothing on my hands that look like I could have beat him to death. And the Escambia County Sheriff Detective does not pull his hands out and go right here. See that? This indicates you beat him to death. He doesn't say that. All he says is, well, it appears he was beat to death. Ooh, wow. Profound moment there. You're something, Detective Stupid. We get that. But what does that have to do with Mike Neely, probable cause-wise? But I wish so much Michael would have been thinking like a cop. You could tell he's very traumatized. He's just woke up from almost being dead himself. He almost died himself of opioid overdose. They gave him Narcan. We got a CAT scan because he's been knocked out in a fight. They had a drunken brawl, and that's not what he was treated for. He's treated for opioid overdose. He slept through the whole fucking fight. He doesn't remember because he wasn't there. He was about to die. He was dying too. He was unconscious. That's why he can't remember what happened. The fight was over that. Between Lucky and the guy that did this. Was it David? Was it Calvin? Who was it? You know, what's your interest in all this, Calvin? So, I mean, I don't know you. Never met you in my life that I know of. So, but I know you're hated because we hear about how awful you are and you're bald and fat. So, this, you know, he's not saying, yeah, here's how the fight happened and here's how you did this. He's just, we think, it appears he was beat to death. You're a genius. Okay, probable cause, though. Show me on Mike where it looks like he did it. And he never says that, and he never does that. And in a police interview, that's the job. That's what you do. Your job is to catch the bad guy so there's no more victims. Because a lot of these people reoffend. They reoffend. They can't stop. They don't have control. They don't have control. So our shrink thinks Mr. Perry needs to be sedated. Such a lack of control. Yep. Calvin, you don't win friends and influence people by being mean. What do we say? It's Proverbs 17:11 or 11:17. A man's kindness brings blessings, but his cruelty will be his downfall. You know why? People rant when they get mad. And when you're cruel, they get mad. They don't like that. And kindness brings blessings. I can get information at the snap of my fingers. And you can't get shit. My guy said, Charles, it is highly inappropriate for you to contact me at all. Oh, there's no fucking way I'll help you. When you're gone, I get my privacy back, my family back, my friends back. And my mind, I'll never be broke again. I'll never be broke again. He told you in March 2020 and again in July 2022, and he doesn't repeat himself. Not for anybody. You are not to invade her privacy anymore. You don't contact her or her family in any way, shape, or form. Directly or indirectly. And she's not to be broke anymore. Respect her and respect the law. Or I'm going to do it for you. And every time we get one of these, that's what that is. It's a process, and these go into for the judge to hear until he finally signs off on an arrest warrant. You're gone. We don't have to deal with this anymore. People don't like feeling fear, sadness, sick of their stomach, creeped out, uncomfortable. And that's how you make people feel, and they're sick of feeling that. Nobody likes you. Everybody's sick and tired of y'all. And you need to understand just how sick and tired of you they are. And when we quote you, that ought to be a little clue, Calvin. Richard, it should be like a little clue. We pissed off somebody with a lot of power because she found out about Judy. She found out about Huntington's disease. She found out about the whole plan of jail and a letter of apology and a Houston realtor who bought her. Charles pockets the money, then murders her, and the whole thing goes away. Right? We found out about the plan before you did it, not after. I'm not saying it in jail. I mean, it's not I'm not in jail. It's not an afterthought to explain something away. We got you talking about it. It's malicious aforethought. We got you on premeditation already about 100 times. We only need one, David. Okay, so there's that. I mean, I don't know how many different ways I could say the same thing. Most people don't even have to be told this at all, much less over and 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 over. There's my podcast on Michael that he was commenting on. This takes the cake, he said. He'd be home. And Mark, Mr. Perry, I don't like you. Mr. Perry, when you contact me, we get more. Mr. Perry, I don't want to hear from you. I don't like you. I don't care what you think. Didn't ask you, did I, Connie? We're all sick of you. Just sick of you. Why can't you get that? Why can't you understand how sick of you everybody is? When you contact me, we get more. We find out more about your crime. When you contact me, we find out more about the crime. When you contact me, sir, we can find out more about your crime. Mr. Perry, don't ask how we found out. You know how we found out. When you contact me, when you peep on me, when you take my money, that's what happens. It's been that way every day for 7 years that you know of. It's a decade. What day are they going to arrest you? Get the fuck out of my life. Get the fuck off me, rapist. Get the hell out of my life. I don't like you. You make me sick at my stomach. You're grotesque. You make all my skin crawl. All of it. I only go out with men who are normal. My ex-husband didn't even know who half my friends were. He sure shit didn't call him and bother him. So why do you? Why do you bother everybody all day? Can you please get Mr. Borman, please put your client in a mental hospital and get him sedated? Because he's costing you just more than you're able to, I guess, put together in your head. You need to get it. You need to think about it. Think it through. He's already costing you a shit ton. Okay? I mean, I'm done trying to, finger paint this for y'all. We're sick of this. I don't always repeat myself for you. Sometimes it's for the court to know that we had to say the same thing yet again. So there's that.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior, and you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
David, and Charles, you guys. Again, every penny you cost me, that they go to the judge with that. They got an accountant. He's been keeping track of that forever. Okay, so if I come home with 30 bucks at DoorDash and everybody else is making 100 to 150 during the same period of time, that's going to flag people off, don't you think? Or if I apply for a menial job and anybody hearing me talking can tell I can do any job I want, you're going to have a problem explaining that in your criminal trial. But go talk to your shapeshifter, David. All right? Go talk to them. See if they'll fix that for you.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave
You
me
can
alone.
all you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. And you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay.